Have you ever wondered how inflation impacts your daily life? Well, it's a simple yet complex concept. Imagine you're at the grocery store. Inflation is like an invisible hand that gradually increases the price tags on your favorite items. It's the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rise, and as a result, our purchasing power falls. Central banks strive to keep inflation in check to maintain economic stability. Now that we understand what inflation is, let's delve into how it affects you. Inflation seems like a complex economic issue, but it impacts your life in a very tangible way. Imagine this: you're a regular person who loves to enjoy a cup of coffee every morning. Today that cup costs $3, but due to inflation, the price might creep up to $4 in a few years. That's inflation at work, making your everyday items more expensive over time. But it's not just your morning coffee that gets pricier. The cost of everything around us, from groceries to gas to rent, is affected by inflation. This is because inflation reduces the purchasing power of money. In simpler terms, as inflation rises, each dollar in your pocket buys fewer goods and services. Inflation doesn't just affect your day-to-day spending, it's also a silent thief that can erode the value of your hard-earned savings or investments. If the inflation rate is higher than the interest rate on your savings account, for example, your savings are effectively losing value over time, and then there's the domino effect on interest rates. When inflation is high, interest rates often rise too. This makes borrowing more expensive, whether you're taking out a mortgage, a car loan, or using a credit card. As we can see, inflation has a significant impact on our daily lives and financial decisions. Inflation is more than an economic term, it's a reality that affects all of us. Let's recap what we've learned today. Inflation at its core is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising. It's an unavoidable economic phenomenon that directly impacts our everyday lives, from the cost of our morning coffee to the price of a new car. It's important to remember that inflation erodes the purchasing power of our hard-earned money. Over time, $1 today won't buy you as much as it did yesterday. The same goes for our savings and investments. If the rate of inflation surpasses the interest on your savings account, you're essentially losing money. So what can we do? Staying informed is key. Understand how inflation works, keep an eye on the economy, and plan your finances accordingly. Understanding inflation can help us make informed decisions about our money. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.